The debate over the effects of violent video games is, as Jacqueline Nesi, PhD, puts it, one for the ages. As she shares in her Technosapiens newsletter, there's a tangled web of research, but some key facts emerge from her analysis of the extensive literature. First, it's important to understand what constitutes a violent video game. Nesi provides a clear legal definition. It means any video game which includes depictions of or simulations of human-on-human violence in which the player kills or otherwise causes serious physical harm to another human. Serious physical harm includes depictions of death, dismemberment, amputation, decapitation, maiming, disfigurement, mutilation of body parts, or rape. Popular examples include Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, and Red Dead Redemption 2. Regarding the science, Nesi delves into a landmark 2010 meta-analysis published in Psychological Bulletin, which synthesized findings from over 130,000 participants. This analysis found a significant effect of playing violent video games on increased aggressive behavior, aggressive thoughts, and aggressive emotions, along with decreased empathy and less prosocial behavior. These effects were observed across cross-sectional, longitudinal, and experimental studies. For instance, in experimental settings, participants who played violent games were more likely to act aggressively afterward, such as choosing louder sounds to punish a loser in a competitive task. The conclusion from this work was strong. The evidence strongly suggests that exposure to violent video games is a causal risk factor for increased aggressive behavior. However, Nesi highlights that research is never so simple. The debate centers on several critiques of these findings, including concerns that lab-based measures of aggression, like noise blasts, may not reflect real-life aggression, that important variables like gender or family factors weren't always controlled for, and that there might be publication bias favoring studies that support the link. A significant point of contention is also the statistical effect sizes, which some argue are too small to be practically meaningful, especially when compared to factors like poverty or physical abuse. Nesi explains that the proponents of the link offered valid counterpoints. They argue that noise blast measures are correlated with other aggression measures and that ethical considerations prevent inciting real violence in labs. They also point out that many studies do control for other variables and that results hold even after accounting for publication bias. Crucially, they emphasize that even small effect sizes can be meaningful, especially when they occur on a large scale or accumulate over time. Nesi notes that the effect of violent games on aggression is roughly 6 times the size of the effect of daily aspirin on preventing heart attack, an effect deemed large enough to halt a medical trial. Updated meta-analyses in 2018 and 2021 have continued to find significant, albeit small, negative effects. In 2017, the American Psychological Association (APA) similarly concluded that there was sufficient evidence linking violent video game use with increased aggressive behavior, thoughts, and emotions, but importantly, not with serious criminal behavior. Nesi suggests that more studies will ever get us to a definitive answer, as the core questions are about interpreting existing data and methods in psychological science. From Nesi's perspective in Technosapiens, the key takeaways for parents are: there's evidence that, at least in the short term, violent video games can increase aggressive behavior, thoughts, and feelings. There's little evidence that playing violent video games leads to long-term increases in risk for violent or criminal behavior. The effects on aggression are small, but they exist. This implies that other factors like a child's family environment and personality are likely more important predictors. Though for some children, violent games may still have an impact. It's a reality that between 66 to 78% of teen boys play violent games, and for many, these games offer an important opportunity for connecting with friends. Nesi advises parents to combine this research with their knowledge of their own child and their family's values. She offers several practical steps. Know the research outlined above, including the small risks and the social importance of these games. Know your child, their temperament, any existing aggression, and their friend group. Observe their behavior after playing and consider a trial period for new games. Know the games by playing them with your child, watching them, checking reviews on sites like Common Sense Media, and understanding features like chat options and parental controls. Talk about it with your child. Explain your concerns, listen to their opinions, and discuss family values around kindness and empathy. Encourage them to see the difference between game and real-life violence. Set flexible limits that can evolve as your child matures. Nesi advocates for an autonomous supportive approach where children feel respected in the rule-setting process.